In 1625, a Portuguese sailing vessel named the Juan Lee sailed from China heading to what we would have as modern Malaysia. The Juan Lee was carrying a cargo of Ming China, but it never reached its destination. It was sunk by a Dutch vessel. It lay on the bottom of the ocean for almost 400 years. In 2003, it was discovered, and the Ming China was now in thousands and thousands of pieces. It was thought to be worthless, really beyond redemption. But a clever jeweler bought the china, and from the thousands of pieces made pendants and earrings, brooches, all sorts of different kinds of jewelry. What was destroyed and buried found new life. An English author by the name of Margaret Silf told the story of the Juan Lee in an article published last year. Silf very skillfully uses the story of the china to talk about the feast that we're celebrating tonight, the resurrection of the Lord, and the promise that we have of resurrection. Silf goes on to say that many of the pieces had a particular motif, and so the jeweler would sell them kind of in sets. And she purchased some of the jewelry, and the motif on hers was a lotus flower. The lotus grows in the mud of a pool. It slowly pushes up towards the light, and then it blossoms. The Chinese use this as an image of something pure and clean coming forth from something dark and dirty, the mud. And they would see it as a symbol of our ability to work through our darkest, most painful circumstances to be transformed and renewed. That's the message of the transformed china, and it's the message that we have celebrated this week in reliving the passion, death, and resurrection of the Lord. From death comes new life. It is a message of hope that all of us really need to hear. From the shipwrecks that we encounter in our own lives, we can emerge from the mud and the mire and blossom. Whatever darkness and mud is in our lives, we can push through it to the light. We might speak of the death of a loved one or a serious illness. We might speak of the darkness and mud of unemployment or family estrangements. We could speak of the mire of personal debt or divorce. Whatever our story is, our promised hope of Easter is that, like the thousands of pieces of china, we can find new life, new hope. It won't be a reconstruction of the original. They didn't take the china and try to piece it back together. It's more of a transformation, a new way of living, a resurrection. From the newly initiated that will be welcomed to the church tonight to those of us who will be renewing our own baptismal promises, we hear the message of hope that we can emerge from the shipwrecks of our lives. We have gone from the sorrow of Good Friday to the new life of Easter. Yes, indeed, we are an Easter people, and Alleluia is our song.